brothers and sisters, the Lord is with you.
And also with you.
We continue listening to God speak to us from the Gospel in the tradition of Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain. After he sat down, the disciples came to him. He began to teach them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. And blessed are they who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the reign of heaven. And blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you, and utter every kind of evil against you falsely because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven." And this, my brothers and sisters, is the good news, the gospel of our salvation.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus
By
Christ.
the words of the gospel, may our sins be blotted out.
Amen.
Amen.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's wonderful to be here and to welcome you as a new community in our Catholic Apostolic Church. It's doubly nice because I come from Virginia and it was 4 degrees when I left, so I'm really enjoying that as well. When we are children, we think in very black and white terms. I've always felt that the real test of maturity was how many shades of gray you could see. And we can see this very clearly in the New and the Old Testaments. In the Old Testament, the people had not yet matured in their thinking about God or about morality. It was very black and white. So God did exactly what we do with our own children. We don't say to our children, "Now don't go run out into that street unless the weather is very clear and the traffic is not coming and there are no parked cars and you're wearing shoes that are hard-soled so you don't slip on the pavement." No, we don't say any of those things. We say, "Do not run out into the street, ever, period." Black and white. So God did the same thing with his people in their immaturity. Do not kill. Do not steal. Do not, do not, do not. And for the most part, these warnings were all negative. There were a few that weren't, the one about honoring God and about honoring one's parents. But they too had no subtleties about them. What about honoring an abusive parent? What about keeping Sabbath if it means you're going to lose your job? No black and white. But all of this changes in the New Testament. Jesus teaches us like grown-ups. We have matured in our understanding enough that he can challenge us with the greater moral issues and thoughts of today. The Beatitudes that we read today are not a list of do not do this and do not do that. They are the commandments that make the shades of gray visible to all of us. And they're all positive virtues. There are no do-nots. The Beatitudes are remarkable. And we may have forgotten about how remarkable they are because we hear them so much that I don't think we really think about them when we hear them read anymore. It's good, oh, it's the Beatitudes. They are revolutionary. They are countercultural, even in Jesus' time and probably even more so today. The Beatitudes describe a world that does not yet exist, but it is possible. It is a world where people are not obsessed with owning things and having the best of everything. These people are poor in spirit. It is a world where people help other people, even in the tragedies of life which happen to each of us. These people will be comforted by others. It is a world where people are submissive to the needs of others, gently guiding others. The meek shall rule the land. It is a land where people fight for justice and are rewarded, and the playing field is the same for everybody. Their hunger for righteousness is filled. It is a world where people are allowed to make mistakes and to learn from them. We are all merciful. It is a world where everyone treats everyone else respectfully and never abuse another person. We are all pure of heart. It is a world where we talk out our differences, compromise, and try to understand each other. It is a world of peace. Now, the Beatitudes, of course, describe the kingdom of heaven, which we know can never be fully realized until the end of time, but it can be realized here and now, more and more, and we can see glimpses of it if we simply start to act out the Beatitudes in our own lives. It is the pathway to that perfect world. And it is aware of the grays of life, the rich who don't really care and want more, our individualistic concerns that don't allow us to see the needs of others, the privilege of class, the abuse and taking advantage of one another. All of those shades of gray are there in the Beatitudes. But the message, the way, the path is clear if we want to follow Jesus. As members of the Catholic Apostolic Church, as parishioners here at St. Francis and St. Clare, you have a chance to make this world a better place. Zephaniah, in his first reading today, gives you an image of this. He says, "They will pasture and lie down, and no one shall make them afraid." That is what this church, this parish, can do for you. Let this place be that pasture where you come each week to be fed and nurtured, and learn not to be afraid of what is outside. Jesus will give us the strength, the way to deal with this life in all of its shades of gray. And in the second reading, Paul describes all of us here. Not many of us are wise, powerful, or noble in birth. We're just ordinary men and women. But God chooses ordinary men and women to change the world. Paul says God chose what is weak in the world to shame the world, to shame the strong. By our faith, by our coming to church to worship and be fed, by bringing home the word, and by acting on what we have heard Christ say, we can be those lights in the outer world. And we can bring about a better world ourselves. I know it looks glum right now. Our country is sorely divided. But maybe we need to get back to these basics. The Beatitudes, which offer us the kind of world, the vision of the kind of world that we need to create. And it starts here. It starts in this parish, and it starts in the Catholic Apostolic Church. Join with us to create the kind of world that is Christ-like and a shadow of that kingdom that's going to come. Let, as Paul says, God be the source of your life in Christ Jesus. As presiding bishop of Casina, the Catholic Apostolic Church, I welcome you into our greater church community and into what we hope is a vision for the kingdom to come. I come to be of service to you and to bring you the really good news that is Christ's to give. And may God bless you all in this kingdom of heaven which you are creating right here and right now. Thank you.